Hey fam, come on in. Just working through some technical stuff and we're going to get started. All right, I think our guest is here. Annette, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but there it is.
Okay, cool. What's up,
There it
lady?
is. Hey. Hey.
Looking all official.
I'm at the office,
Yeah,
so
I see. Got the Oracle hat on today.
yeah.
Well, hey,
Yes.
welcome, welcome, welcome. We
Thank
are
you.
live. We are broadcasting in about 5 different platforms. Want to welcome all of you. Want to send out a special shout out to all of you watching. Source bless you. Happiness, health, and success to all of you. And we are just going to spend some time with you guys and just really talk about the climate and some things that we've been seeing. And we just wanted to shed some light on it. So, Annette, first and foremost, how have you been? How's your day been?
Had a really good day. I had three three clients. Um Everything went well. I woke up this morning and just spoke infinite possibilities today.
Okay.
And I just feel I'm in the boat and I'm going with the flow and I just feel great. I'm just calm. Um, I'm in a peaceful place.
Good.
So I'm grateful for that. And there's a lot going on, and when you're in the type of work that we do, you never know what's going to come through the door. So it was a good day today. It's a good day.
Cool, cool, cool. So, what's on your mind? Let's get right into it. I know we had talked a little earlier, but what have you been noticing? What are you seeing out there that you want to really address?
Well, um, I've been getting a lot of calls um, concerning the children are getting ready to go back to school. And there's a lot of fear out there around this,
Right.
you know. But when you talk to the kids, they are excited, most of them were, because of COVID, they were, at home and they want to go back to school. They want to see their friends. They want to, you know, and not saying that, the educational system is perfect or anything, but there's a place for it for the children.
Right.
And the kids are like geeked and they're excited, so you've got that energy on one hand, but then you on the other hand you have, the parents not knowing, what they're sending their kids into. You've got, the teachers, the administrators. It's just a lot of energetically, the way I feel is there's a lot of confusion and the chaos um, stirring up out there. And I just think we need to put some peace to it. People are saying, let's get back to the norm. And there is no norm. There is, what was yesterday is gone. And so there is no norm. And so look at right now, because that's all we have, and be encouraged that everything is going to work out. But if we keep putting this fear and this chaos and confusion on the planet, we're stirring up a lot of things. And so I just think, as parents, as administrators, the teachers, everybody that deals with this whole school system, really you need to unite for our kids. Even, you've got social workers that are going back into buildings. Jobs are sending people back into the buildings. Do you wear a mask? Don't you wear a mask? What do you do? All of these different things. Right now, the planet just feels chaotic.
I think for me, and I want to get your take on this because I've been watching things for the last year and a half, and it seems like anything dealing with fear is
Mhm.
implemented immediately.
Yeah.
Like the collective just collapses around it. You see a lot of conformity and it's just launched. Anything dealing with love, anything dealing with light, anything dealing with healing, not so fast. Like
Right.
fear is a instant. And working with my sales team, all over the country, I've noticed that
Mhm.
people respond to fear, they
Mhm.
react to fear quicker than they respond to love, quicker than they would respond to anything dealing with healing and growing. And we're seeing it play out. And it's not only the fear, but it's the confusion, it's the
Mhm.
uncertainty, all of that mixed in, and people feel the way they feel.
Right.
And to me, it's just an example of, again, giving up your personal power to like slow down. I don't think people like slow down and try to get to the root of what's going on and what may be triggering some of these reactions.
Mhm.
Um, so it's just interesting to just be in the background, kind of like watching all of this. And the kids seem to be caught up in
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, but they're only caught up in it because, they're picking up the energy from the adults around them.
Right, right,
You know, um, I've talked to my ladybug, and she's excited to go back to school. My Jordy, she's been homeschooled, and now she's getting ready to go back into a building. There's a little bit of nervousness, but not because of what's going on in the planet. It's just she's going back to school.
right,
She has been homeschooled. And so we need to follow the lead of the kids. This is for them. And, we pray over them, we speak love and light over them. And we have to know within our heart that everything is going to work out instead of fearing, well, what if this happened? What if it doesn't?
right.
I just want to send prayers and love and light out to the teachers, to the administrator, everybody who is involved with the school systems. Um, I think we need to really cover them as some of the children have already started back to school. But I think as light workers and adults, we need to take the forerun of this and say no, you know um it's going to be okay. We're going to make sure it's okay. We're going to cover our kids versus giving our kids fear.
Yeah, and I mean, as a parent myself, I can remember that there were times in my life, um, and this is a totally different situation, but I remember when 9/11 happened, we're coming up on the 20-year anniversary on it, and
Mhm.
that day kind of rocked my foundation. But even though I was experiencing fear, I can't transmit that to the kids. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like we don't huddle up with the kids and all be afraid together. We have to be able
Mhm.
to separate the two and instill in them a little bit more confidence, a little bit more faith. And then we have to also look to ourselves like, where is our faith?
Mhm.
Like, where did it go? Like, and I understand everything that's happening, but I think we're so quick to throw in the towel and to fall on the sword. It's like, where's our faith that, hey, there is a higher power, there's a higher order operating, and let's let's give that some credit too. I mean,
Right.
the world didn't start a year ago.
Right.
I mean, we've been here forever, and that there has to be an element that kicks in within us that says, you know what, let me really look at this for what it is. And I just feel that there's a massive attack or fear agenda that's taken place, and now it's trickling down to the next generation. And that's the last thing we want. We don't want
Mhm.
everybody waking up. You know, I put a post up on my Facebook page the other day. It says, when was the last day that you had that you didn't let fear control you?
Mhm.
And that was before you and I even talked about this subject. Like, when was the last day that you experienced some fear, but you didn't let it control or run your day?
Right.
And I just feel living in that energy takes away from our ability to live each day to the fullest. Yes, things can happen.
Mhm.
Things are happening. Things are changing. A lot of things we don't even know what to believe anymore.
Right.
But I think within us, we've got to have the gumption to be like, you know what, I'm gonna give the higher power the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to do anything stupid. You know, we're not saying or suggesting to go out here and do something, you know, that's not beneficial, but we just can't just jump in this panic pot and scream fire. You know, I
Right.
don't think that's useful. So,
Yeah.
what are some tips that you think that could help people lower their anxiety? You know, I think about, you know, just having a simple conversation with the kids, you know, seeing how they feel about things.
Mhm.
But what are some tips that you feel that, you know, people can use to help them through these times of fear and confusion?
You know, one thing is to stay present and stay in the now. Stop looking at 3 and 4 months down the road. What are you doing right now? You know, and how are you empowering yourself? What's your practice for your own edification? A lot of times we get away from that. Some people, like with you, you're doing the series on affirmations, getting up in the morning. And some people used to get up in the morning and the family as a whole would get together and pray
Right.
before they started their day. you know and one thing I think is a plus that happened with COVID is that the family started coming back together again. The family was sitting down together and eating dinner. Don't stop that. The family was playing games and the family was doing things together. Just because the kids are going back to school does not mean you should stop what you were doing, because what needs to happen is the unification of the family needs to stay as a whole. So, pray with your kids in the morning. And as you said, have a conversation with them when they get home from school. Hey, how was your day?
Yeah, I
What did
had
you do?
the grandbaby had her first day today,
Okay.
and she I came to the house and she was like, "Hey, Bobo," that's what she calls me. Y'all can't call me that. And I said, "How was your day?" And she said, "Day was great." You know, she came
Mhm.
down, gave me a hug, not one peep about
Yeah.
nothing. No, and I wasn't going to add to it. I wasn't going to like,
Mhm.
yeah, how many people had masks on, and
Right,
you know,
right.
and did anybody? I wasn't going to even put that energy
Mhm.
in her system. It was like, how's
Right.
the day? This, that, and the other. What does your homework look like? You know, talk to me about your teachers. You know,
Mhm.
how many of your classmates? It was all normal school stuff. And I think as parents or, you know, anyone with, you know, children in the home, that's what we need to do. We need to, of course, it's not business as usual, but we need to keep their energy as close
Mhm.
to that normalcy of school. We got to allow our kids to be kids. We can't
Yeah.
have them like afraid to wake up in the morning and afraid to go outside. And it's like, and I really feel that behind the scenes, that's the agenda that's pushed, because I think if we learned anything from last year, we learned the power of fear and how it can move people. And if we're not too careful, that's going to trickle down to the next generation. And that's not healthy. It really isn't. And and I like what you said as far as getting together, the family, eating dinner and praying in the morning and this, that, and the other. Also look at the supplements. We forget about our own anatomy. We forget
Right,
about the fact that if we skin our knee, that our knee heals over time
right.
automatically. So we have just taken fear and thrown everything else out the window, but we don't look at to what we can do to strengthen the immune system. And I know that isn't a topic that they talk about on the news, but that still exists. Strengthening the immune system, some of the supplements that you could put in your system to, ward off different cases of things happening. I mean, there's so many positive things that we can do to aid the body, aid the psyche, aid the whole process. But it seems like a lot of people are just saying, no, this is where it is, and there's nothing we can do but being fair.
Yeah,
So
you
I
know,
just want to touch on that.
for me, you've got that fear piece but for me, I don't care about the fear piece. You know, someone has to stand in the gap. And, most of my clients know I'm always talking about self love and self care.
Yes.
So the fear piece is there, but my reasoning for wanting to talk about this is not the fear. My reason was for talking about this is to help people recognize that love is real,
Right.
and taking care of yourself is real, and self love is real. And yes, doing your supplements, And I had a client today, and we were talking about that. And what I said to her, I says, well, fall is coming. What type of supplements and regimen were you doing? And so we talked about, vitamin C and D and different things. And what I said to her is, so what's different? Why aren't we just doing the things that we know to do, anyway? um Fall is coming, so you start preparing your immune system. You start making changes. You start, eating. Like for me, I have to have warm foods,
Right.
so sometimes my day is long here, so I make sure that I have food, I have apples or whatever here that I can snack on, so that I'm not running out to get, a candy bar or something. I have the nutrition that I need. And so I think we just need to get back to those bases of what we know. The kids need supplements, um, make sure that the diet, the lunches that they're taking, is healthy for them. Make sure they're getting enough rest. And the other thing is give them a balance where they still have to play. And that's not just for the kids. We've forgotten how to play as adults. But play is part of a balance for our body, our minds. We're whole beings. We're mind, body, spirit. We've got emotions. We got all these different things that we need to start feeding and recognizing. We have the power to do it. We just need to stop listening to the news and do what we know is best for our own self. And every family is different, but you can sit down with your kids and say, okay, what kind of food do you want? What snacks do you want? All of that stuff. We're going to meditate today, or we're going to pray, or we're going to sit down and play a board game as a family.
Right.
Doing those things that it doesn't matter what's going on outside, but what's going on in your house, that the kids feel safe and know that they're empowered because they see that the adult and the parents are empowered.
Yeah, that's super huge. I'm going to really flip this because there's a question I want to talk to you about on the back end. I remember when this whole thing started, yes, there was confusion, there was a whole bunch of uncertainty in the air, but to me, I saw the love and I saw things ignite in certain ways with our first responders
Right.
who absolutely had no understanding. They jumped into uncertainty
Mhm.
and dealt with these people that got sick coming into the hospital. You have serviced a number of them that
Right.
were frontline people. They were the heroes.
Mhm.
And these individuals did their job every day in the medical field, and they did it out of love. They
Right.
literally put themselves in harm's way, exposing this, that, and the other. And that's what I feel. It's like we forgot that. Like this was just a year ago. And it's like, where's the faith? Where is the
Yeah.
faith? Because these individuals jumped into this with a lot of faith and a love for humanity and to serve humanity, dealing with an unknown. You dealt with some individuals that, went in and they didn't know what they're walking into,
Mhm.
and we talked about, the ups and downs and the flows of that. And I just think this is the time that we need to be the same for our kids. We
Exactly.
have to be that strength. We have to be that pillar. We have to be that first responder in our own families. And yeah, be responsible, but don't just sit around, hold hands, and be like, we're all doomed.
Yeah.
So I think that's the mentality that we need back right now, especially for our kids,
Mm.
is the heroic or the heroine on the female side, just being that individual that steps out and says, you know what, yes, this is all going on, but I'm going to be an example,
Mhm.
for my family or my friends or whoever.
Yeah. And it's like you said, be the hero of your family. Whether or not you're a single parent or, for me, my son is an adult, but I have my babies, and so I'm calling them or I'm calling mom, hey, they okay? How was their day? I'm checking on them, not because I have to, but because I love them.
Right.
I just want them to be okay. So, you know, bring the love right to the forefront of ourselves and then to our children and be the heroes for who we truly are, no matter on what's going on outside. Because if I'm at peace and my family is at peace, when they go outside, they have the faith to know that they're going to be okay,
Right.
you know, and even, the kids going to school where the kids are seeing some, the other kids, hey man, you okay, you good, you know we just need to start loving ourselves so that we can love the family as a unit. And then again, we have to keep cover our teachers, the minister, everybody who is involved, even the janitor.
Right.
We've got to cover them, love on them, because every day is a brand new day, and that's all we can do. And so I just think right now, as the United States, we need to come together in love, in unity for our children.
You're absolutely right. Well, you want to add anything else to that? I don't know if any subtopics came up. We're about just under 25 minutes in. You want to add anything to that?
No, just love our babies, please.
Well, hey, lady, it was great talking to you and spending a little time. And we want to thank all of you that are tuning in. We just wanted to, just share a different perspective on things, and hopefully, it lowers some of the anxiety that's going on out there, because I know it's out there. We're living in different times, and no, it seems like as soon as you hear something, it has 19 different changes to it within 10 minutes. And so I clearly understand, but I believe that if we go within, if we
Mhm.
take care of the inner space, the outer space will line up and take care of itself, no matter what. So, Annette, thank you again, lady.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll do this really soon in the near future. Okay.
All
So we're gonna
right.
sign out, everyone. Love and respect from me, love and light from Annette. And we'll talk to you guys in the next video.